It's a common sense recap of the big stories. It's Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
And joining us now here on Katz and Cosby is the former White House press secretary, Ari Fleischer. Ari, what does President Biden need to do? He's got his huge high-stakes news conference starting about an hour from now. This is going to be big.
He needs to do something that should be easy for a president, and that's not fall down. He needs to string together a couple sentences. He needs to do the normal. That's all. That's all we need tonight from our president. And that's why it's so important, because as we're all worried about since we saw the debate, but many of us who have seen him for over the years, we're worried about how he's going to perform in an extemporaneous setting with no teleprompter because he's in such a state of decline.
You know, if he does have a fumble, and even in the George Stephanopoulos, he said some real crazy things. If he does have a fumble, is this the end of the line for him, Ari?
Yeah, I cannot imagine him surviving the debate in a stumble tonight, him freezing, his forgetting the name of Hamas, where if you remember a previous news conference, he couldn't remember the name of Hamas, but a reporter saved him. So that's the other thing. Will reporters step in to save him if he stumbles, if he bumbles, or will they just let him stand there inarticulate? He could be saved by the press tonight. But I don't think he can survive, because what will happen is if he does have a very bad stumble tonight, you're going to get Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama and Nancy Pelosi and Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer. They're going to have no choice. They're going to come out and say you need to step down. And at that point, can Biden resist it, or will he acquiesce? And I think at that point he has to acquiesce.
Ari, John Catsimatidis, are they setting him up tonight, knowing that he's going to fail?
Well, first of all, I knew you weren't Rita. So
thank you. I'm glad.
I don't look at it as setting him up to fail. I look at it tonight. He's doing his job, and the American people get to watch. This is what presidents should do. They should routinely be holding news conferences and live events extemporaneous for the public to gauge how is the president that we elected doing. So who would be setting him up to fail? The White House staff? They're not in the business of setting him up to fail. But he is set up to fail just by virtue of who he is and how weak he's become, how much stumbling he has done, how inarticulate he has become. He's in decline, John, and this is the issue. So many of us have seen it with our elderly parents. We all know there comes that moment in life when people in their 80s can't find their train of thought anymore. The idea pops in their head, it pops right back out. They struggle to find a word. And it's sad. It's part of life. But it cannot be part of life for a president of the United States of America whose job is to protect all of us, be sharp, be nimble, be fast on their feet, and scare our opponents that they better never take us on because we have a president who's at the top of his game. That's where he is tonight.
100% agreed. Right now, our enemies around the world are saying, well, what can we get away with while he's still president?
Exactly right, and they measure his weakness. And it's the way he walks, it's the way he talks. Every signal he can send that promotes weakness, he is sending. And this is why, at a certain point, presidents have to ask themselves, am I the right one? Now, Biden's a stubborn man. He beat Trump once. He thinks he can beat him again. He said only the Almighty can make him drop out of the race. We'll find out tonight. Tonight's a huge night. It's perilous for Joe Biden. Now, I don't rule out that he can string together a few articulate sentences in a 10, 15-minute, they'll keep a short news conference tonight. If he can do that, he gets to live to fight another day. He doesn't make this go away, but he'll live to fight another day.
You know, he's going to have potentially note cards, too, I would assume, too. And my other thought, Ari, too, is, as a note, look, Ari Fleischer, you have been in the White House so many times. You know how this works. It might only be X amount of questions. The other issue is, where's the media been all this time? Now it's like they're having an epiphany because they see, what happened in the polls after that dismal debate. I mean, come on. They've been sitting there front row seeing what you and I have seen, and now it's like some magical thing. Oh, we've got to get rid of him.
It's a scandal. It is a scandal of the highest order. Americans can no longer rely on the media to tell us what's going on. And that's, I really mean the mainstream media, the New York Times, the Washington Post, ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN. The media has been in the basement helping Joe Biden. That's where they have been. And while on Fox News, we regularly saw the decline of Joe Biden. They covered it the way a news outlet should cover it. Yet the major media rallied to Joe Biden just 2 weeks ago, and they called it cheap fakes when Republicans, when media outlets, conservative outlets, showed Biden's decline. And now, since the debate, they're all going into overtime since they fear Biden might lose to Trump to get Biden out of the race. This is not news coverage. This is shameful coverage, and the press is in the tank.
Absolutely. And, we'll know in a few hours. Thank you, Ari, so much. And Rita, any other questions?
No, Ari, I can't wait. Are you going to give up the Yankees tonight, and you're going to watch the news conference instead?
I'll probably have the Yankees on my phone and the news conference on TV.
Ari, thank you so much. We really appreciate you being here. The great Ari Fleischer. Thank you.
Ari.
Always a pleasure. Thanks, guys.